Welcome back, guys. We're getting, midway through August, getting closer to September. And I tell you what, this time of year, I get more questions asking about the type of strategies. What's your hunting strategies for early season? You think about it, and it's a little tough to answer. For one reason is the fact that every type of hunting strategy that you use is pretty much determined by the scenario that's presented to you, if that makes sense. That's all I could think of is the fact that it may be a bedding area. Well, you're going to have certain hunting strategies for that. It may be an area that they're staging. It might be a different strategy there. Might be an area like this one, where it's a feeding area, and that will partake a different type of hunting strategy altogether. So you almost have to go according to what you're working with, where you want to hunt at that point. Now, this time of year, meaning mid-August or so, I start walking around every year. If I have a feeding area that I stumble on that has acorns, there they are, okay? Right there. I walk around and try to see if there's any one particular oaks that are dropping them already, and some do, just due to the fact there may be stress to the oak itself, and the stem up there will dry up, and down come some green ones. But at least that tells me there's some acorns in the area. So as far as hunting strategies, this particular area, the best way I can do it is show you different areas. I will take you to this area. I'll take you to a couple different areas on the same video and maybe different hunting strategies if that helps you. But the point is here, as long as I'm here right now checking this area over, I see that there's acorns already in this area. And what happens, a lot of times, guys, you should really scout these in beginning of spring or even through the winter. Last winter, we had a mild winter, so I was able to find this area. And at that point, believe it or not, I already came up with a strategy on how to hunt it for the next fall, which is coming up pretty soon, because of the fact they were still hitting acorns. And I don't find that up here in northern Wisconsin that much. Not many areas do. Now, there are, again, other areas that don't have any oaks at all. Well, those areas, that's a different scenario altogether. I hunt the hazelbrush. Hazelnuts, this time of year, the deer start hitting them. And many areas where there's great partridge hunting, your rough grouse, they love the hazelnuts. And they also, including deer, if you notice, if you've ever been through those areas, they have what is called a catkin. It hangs on the hazelbrush. It is actually the male flower. And the partridge itself, that sustains them through the winter. That is one of their main diets throughout the whole winter. And consequently, deer love them. So if you don't have the oaks, sort of focus on some of those hazelnut areas if you do have those. That's another alternative, basically. And it's in the spring, fall like this, they will go to these areas. You'll get a couple good weeks out of this where they're just pounding them, just like they do the acorns, just like anywhere else. Now up here, we have the red oaks. And there again, if you want to do a little comparison, most people down south have the white oaks, obviously, and they're much better tasting to the deer due to the tannins that are in this red oak are quite high, and it's a little more acetic to them. But here's the catch. They will not pass up these red oaks in early season because of the fact it has, if you took that compared to corn, 10 times more fat in an acorn than there is in corn. And these deer know it. They know what the fat content is in these acorns, and they will go to the end hitting them if you can stumble on an area like this, and which is in the back of this area. So there again, I want to say February, behind me, I don't know if you can see it, I'll show you. There's my licking branch. I put that up in February. And the reason is I want to consolidate these deer to this one area. And so it goes on. So what we're going to do, I will show you my particular strategy just in this area right here. Then after that, we'll go to another one. So at this point, I'll show you exactly what I got cooking right here, okay? Okay, guys, what I noticed last winter when I came here, see a hill, it was a cutover, and then there's this patch of pines right here, just a holding area, more or less a staging, and then it went into a transition of healthy oaks, and maples, of course, but there was an oak stand, hard to find, and it fortunately was very healthy. So what I did, I looked at the fact, well, this is a staging area down here. No doubt, found some rubs here. What they're doing, they're coming from up over those hills. Big woods up there. They're coming down, and I look for the lowest point. And this point, due to thermals, in the evening, they would drop down because it's hard to tell in the background probably, but there's a hill. It goes right up that hill, and they come down off of there and look almost like a man-made lane for them here. And then they venture in to the oaks. So it's too open out here, pretty much. So they like to tuck along this edge, I would think. There was trails here and there was droppings. So I went with that. And what I did automatically, I put up a licking branch to hold them into this area a little more. And that was back in February, because what they're going to do, they're going to go up along this edge and go up into those oaks right there on the edge of this cutover, see? Okay, so basically they're coming from over in that area, all up in that area. So I don't want to mess because it's so big. I'm trying to create my own little pinch point here. Now up to the, that is over there. That's a northwest. Here's west over there, okay? So I got to be over in this area. Got to hit a north, maybe a north-northeast wind to take me over in that area is where I'm going to be. Now, if you notice throughout the summer now, look what they've done. I don't do anything when I hang up a licking branch down below. I let them create that. Now, I'm just coming here for the first time for quite a while. And look at it. It's pounded down. It's big time. So they're coming off these ridges up there, coming down, and they are checking in. Okay? So it's at least holding some deer, because one of their faint trails is right over here. Okay? So that was what I wanted to do there, is to basically grab the deer over into this area here. Slow them down a little bit before they go up into the oaks itself. So then I had to figure out, okay, now there again, I hunt on the ground, so I had to create something here. And if I use my recurve, I'm going to have to become a little closer than any other type of bow that I use. And so what I came up with was, well, here's their trail yet. Pretty hard to tell probably on video, but it goes up. See, now they'll fade out. See, this is like a pinch point. Here's opening. Here's your oaks. Okay. And if we turn slowly, here is that little grove of pines that they come through. They like to stage here first, I notice. What it seems like with the trails, what have you. They'll stage there and then they'll enter. I'm talking about the bucks now. The does, they love this. These kind of areas, they'll hang out, they'll sleep up. But there's beds up on top of these hills, they just noticed. That's not a problem. But now there again, during late rut, this will be fantastic, because they will pound these acorns as much as they can. Now, so if you're a deer coming through here like this, I'm right up there. Okay. I don't get into making big blinds. I like to keep it as natural as possible. That way they're just not startled, especially for the first time they come through here. So here's what I did. I came up on the hill itself, because there's nothing really up in this area that they're coming through for. Not that I know of anyway. There again, it's a new area. Every year I seem to go to new areas just for basically the fun of it, the challenge of it. So what I did is this. This was a natural dugout hole through here. So, see the view? Now, here's where I'm at, down through here. Right through in this little blind here. You could see pretty much what it is. Nothing crazy, but I can get down below. Now, there's that little grove of pines right there, see? And there's the hills. Now, they will travel through there, come through this area, they'll stage over there. And what they're going to do, they're going to turn right here. They're going to turn in that area. So right there, I got a shot. Right there, as they transfer into these oaks. So I can go all through this area itself, see? And hopefully it's a good 20-25 yards. But see, I can tuck down into here. I don't have to get too crazy with this, because I have my ghillie suit on. And I got a tree right here. So that's my cover. That's what you have here. So that's what we're going to go on. Just what you see. Okay, as they come through and go up in that area to feed. Okay? And that's basically it. See, as they come through there, we're going to come through. Now, here's what they'll see. If I'm in there, I can tuck quite low. It doesn't look like much, but that's all it takes to break you up right there. Okay, they come through, and they'll be feeding through here, and up they go. I just feel more comfortable being around on the edge here. I really do, because I think they're going to travel right through here. There's a couple little trails that feed right through that area and come through. So, if you look at that, guys, is my strategy for this area. Doesn't take much, but it's worth a try. Now, I will be using this right away. I'll be hunting this for a couple weeks in September, then I let it go. I will let this go till the rut, because by now I have 5 other stands areas that I have lined up. Usually by now, guys, you should have your areas pretty well picked out where you want to give it a shot. Because then, once mid-October comes, I don't really have many games that I play. I go around, and if I find a hot scrape, I'm on it. Because usually at the mid-October up here, they will first come out and make some scrapes. And then they go back in for a little bit. Then they come back out another week and a half or 2 weeks. Usually by the end of October, if I find hot scrapes, I just hunt them. I'll be walking all over different areas, just seeing what's available, what isn't. But now, from this point, after feeding, I'll take you to a bedding area. Now, the only exception to the rule for me is I do hunt bedding areas right away also. Because you know yourself, they got to get up every day, every night, and come out and feed. And I still rely on my scrape that is close to the bedding. If I find one, which I found last winter again too, is an area that it seemed like it held bucks. And then when I was making a video this year, I bumped a nice buck. And I know where he lives now. And I saw where his scrapes are. In that area, I'll try to catch him by surprise in the early part of the season. And then after that, I'll wait again till the rut when they're quite active. So after this, we're going to go here. After this point, we're going to go to a staging area. It's up on a ridge, really cool spot. And that one I may not use until the rut itself. We're just going to go check it out. It's been a long time. Okay? So let's take it from there, guys. Okay, guys, we're at the second area now. Totally different area. And here's a strategy where it comes into a staging area. And there again, what happened here, I'm just walking last spring along through this big woods here, and I just happened to pick up on some trails. What do? You follow them. So I come along, and I'll show you what I got going here. So I was coming along here, and you can see this trail getting, more distinct, basically. He's just riding this ridge. Now, I don't know what's up there, so that ridge right up there, okay? It's not a long one. It's only maybe about 100 yards long. And then it goes into, monstrous woods. Obviously, you can't even pinpoint them in there, coming in that area. But as I was walking along, I noticed this. Look at this defined trail. Look at that. It's a highway going up all into bedding areas over in that area. It's a maple stand, obviously. Young maples. Just goes for miles. Huge, huge area. That's where I wandered through, and I come to this ridge. So that's going along here. So it's going right up to this ridge for some reason. So I took it. This is how these things develop. That's all I'm telling you guys. It starts going up this ridge. For some reason, they love going up over this. Where they're going for feeding, I don't know. It's so huge. And the trail then is becoming more defined as you go. See? I mean, it's pounded to the ground. It really is. So they like coming over this area. So I figured, well, let's check it out and see if it's worth anything. Now, mind you, this was in the spring this year. So it's just a trail. Huge trail. So this is their path to wherever they're going to feed. Now see, there's the whole bottom. There's where they're bedding. Now the cool part about this is that this whole ridge, when I got up here, is filled with rubs. And I mean historical rubs like you wouldn't believe. Now see, I'll show you one more time. There's the bottom. And I'm up on top. And it's so narrow. And right over there, it just drops off again. Now the funny part is, over in that distinct area, which it's hard to tell, is a swamp along a little lake. And according to the signs, I followed it, I pursued a little more. And what's happening, any buck in the area is living down in that area. And he comes up here and he's patrolling the top of this ridge during a rut. There is scrapes, I mean rubs everywhere, everywhere. So I thought, well, okay, we're going to try to come up with something here to stall them. Because what they're doing, they're going over this hill. They're coming right around and they're going over. And I found this to be their main path through here. Lots of old rubs. Okay. So, once again, see, it's very narrow. They just wander around through here. Just a little ridge, but for some reason they like coming through here and going over the edge. It's cutting across and going into their lowland. So what I did in the winter right away, once again, I hung up a licking branch. Okay. Then I made a little blind. And I thought this is going to be up close and personal kind of hunt here. Now see there, now I haven't been here in a while. Now there again, there was nothing underneath. Now look at, that's bare. So they're creating their own. They're liking this. Okay, they're liking little branch. They're checking in and down they go. Down into the bottom. Branch, but rubs, lots of rubs. Oh my gosh. This looks like last year. Yep. There's a nice one right there. You know, it's an area I don't think I want to pass up. Because what he's doing, if there's a buck coming out of that swamp down below, this is the first place he's coming to. He's basically waking up and he's running perpendicular to these trails. He's coming from over there. And he's catching all of these that are coming through here, through this area. And he's over that area. So me, this is going to be an up and close personal hunt. So what I did, you see that brown through the woods there? I made a little blind quite a while ago. So it's going to be a quick shot, if anything. See, right up in that area, I figured. Because I'm going to wait for them to come up over this hill. I'm not going to go down in that big area. It doesn't pay. Let them get up on top here. So this is more or less a staging area. We're going to go through here and see what, I'll show you what the deal is. Now, sorry, here's what you got going. So basically, here's where I'll be. Okay? There's my opening right up there. Right through that area. So I only have about a 20-yard shot. That's the trail that goes along there. It comes back and over the hill. Now there is direct, that over there is south. And he's coming up through there. And he's meeting all the deer through this trail going this way. He's going perpendicular. He's checking this whole area out. And I really think this is an area where I would spend a day. It's a staging area. During the rut, he's going to come back and forth. Look at all the rubs on these trees, too. He's just going to check it periodically, back and forth. You could just sit here comfortably, buried behind a tree, come up, but it's going to be quick shots through there, maybe through there, as they go over the ridge. But see, that's a strategy on a place like this. I really can't find any other open area than this. Now, as you can see, the reason I like this particular little area, it's hard to find a good, healthy staging area that could be from 9 o'clock till 3 in the afternoon, where they just keep checking it. I mean, during the rut. I mean, this could be second week in November, could be the first week, whatever. But the point is, it's in the middle of nowhere up this particular area. I'm not going to investigate where they feed because they venture off into the big woods here. I don't know where they're heading. And I really don't personally care because I see that this is a meeting area up in this area here. They come out of that maple area down below and they're coming up here, the does I should say. And the buck, he's waiting up here. He's right below the hill in that swamp. I know that's where they live. It just seems like it. So I'm just going to, it's got a quick ambush right here, guys. It really is. So all I could find is right through that area. It'd be a quick shot, but it's something I think I should hang on to because it's so close of an area. This ridge is nothing up here, but for some reason, when you investigate the whole ridge, there is nothing but rubs. So they're going back and forth, back and forth. And there again, I just happened to stumble on this winter, when we had no snow, I happened to see this coming up through here. And that's what we have. So now we'll let this go. Will I hunt this early part of the season? I don't know if I will. Not much activity. This is pretty much when it gets towards breeding area, I think. So I'll just leave this go. Everything is fine. Blind is set there. I'm all set to go. So that's number 2 area. So what we got, we have one more area to go to, and that's going to be a bedding on one particular buck that I saw. So we're going to find out what we're going to be doing over there, okay? So stay tuned. Okay, guys, I'm at the 3rd spot here. Different area altogether. I'm going to talk a little softer because I'm close to his bedding area. This is going to be a bedding area hunt. And what it is this is where I bumped a buck this summer. And I know he lives in this area. He drops down into a swamp right below us here. And this, I'll show you right now, is his trail. Now, that's where we're at right there. Okay? Now, this is his trail alone. Now, what he's doing, he goes up and feeds into the big areas also. I think he's finding acorns somewhere up there. But I'm just concerned about his bedding area. I'm really tight on where he's at right now. I want to try to catch him early season yet while he comes out of his bedding. Now, if you notice, this is his original scrape right through here, okay? That's his first scrape. That's what I like to hunt right there. Those are first initial scrapes. Now, if you notice right here, boy, it might be hard to tell, but see where he splits when he comes up? See, I'm going downhill, obviously, down towards the swamp. See where it splits? It goes this way. It's running this way. So for me to hunt down in that area would be sort of futile because I don't know which way he's coming from. But I know he's come from that area or through there. Okay? So he comes through there, but that's not good enough for me. So what I did, I'm backing up to where it's at the closest point. Meaning right in this area is his tightest pinch point right here, where he's heading up and out, right on this trail alone. So what I'm doing, I'm over there, way past that swamp, past that stump. You see a little blind right there. Of course, I bring my artificial limbs also, but I'll be in that area because this is the one consolidated area where he'll be. It gives me a shot right there because down here it ventures out. And you can just tell what he's doing. See, he's coming up out of this area. Where he goes is down through here. And the whole thing progresses down into a swamp itself. And there's absolutely no reason for me to touch it because this is his first area that he comes up into. It's right through here. Very hard to tell, but he fades off this way and he fades off that way. Okay? So that's the first spot up there I could see would be the closest pinch point. That's basically how I strategize this area. Get him right away when he first comes up. Because once he gets up in the bigger areas, forget it. It's gone. Now you'll see what I just want to show you this quickly. See, he's down in this bottom as it drops off. He just ventures up through here. Now you see, look at how thick down below it gets. We're going to turn around right up here. Now there's all the area that he's down in, right there. All I would do down below there is disturb him. Let him go. He's down there in that area. And in fact, you probably can't see, but way, way over down the hill, there's some water. So he's got his water over there. He's got feeding. He's got his bedding there. And up he goes. He's going through that area and over. That's what he's doing. So basically, this is actually pretty simple. Now, during the rut, when he picks up, I want to see, I'll check this at the end also to see how hot his scrapes are. And you can tell if he's hitting it on a daily basis. So this is another spot. I could hit this in November or so. Be honest with you, though, I get a lot of bucks during Halloween. And of October, they're busy. They come out and they're not quite sure what they're doing yet, but they're out. And I could sit here during the day and he'll go back and forth down in, get a drink of water, whatever it may be, rest a little bit, and he'll go back up and chase. See, now this is where they go up, right through that area. There's one trail going up, and I'll jump over, and here's this other trail that goes up. That's sort of common sense. You know, they're leading up here. This is way back into. There's just nothing around here. And he hits here. He's going to scrape that. I know he will. You watch. Got broken limbs already. But from last year, obviously. And then here is, when he comes up through there, bingo. There's my blind over there. Way in the back there. Hard to see. What's interesting, look at this bed. Right here. All matted down. Yeah, now see, I'll be over here. Pretty hard to conceal yourself in open area, but there again, with my ghillie suit, I blend in quite well. And I better have a good northwest wind. I'm going to have that blowing at me. You see? Basically, this will be it, guys. And I shoot off my knees. There you have it. He's going to be coming up in that area, coming up over that hill, right over that stump. Bingo, there's my opening right there. But see, the point is, he's all in that area. So let him get it together and come up that little hill right there. And there he goes from that point on, and then he continues on its way. But see, I can get down through here. They won't see me at that point. I get ready, and actually right through that area, I can draw back right through those pines right there, and there's an opening. Okay? Okay. Now that's number 3. So that's a bedding area. Now see, what strategy did it take there? Not much. You know, it just stay simple with it, and I want to get as close as I can because it's also determined by what kind of area he lives in. I can't begin to go chase him up in this bigger area for where he feeds. It takes too long. And your chances are so slim. You want to catch these deer right away when they first come up. That's your best bet. I'm talking in big woods. Every area is different. Like I said, every scenario presents you with something different for a challenge. But those are the 3 areas for now that I wanted to show you, just to get an idea and answer these questions when people ask me what type of strategy you're using. Well, each one presents its own strategy. So these are pretty simple in that regards, guys. Now, I'm just chasing one deer at a time. That's all you get up here sometimes, and that's what you got to focus on. Once the rut kicks in, then it opens up a whole new ball game. Like I said before, then I'll be chasing around looking for hot scrapes. But I usually, probably 90% of my hunts is like this, where they come out of bedding and they hit their first scrape. Because does check them, bucks check them. The communication up here is scrapes. But now, obviously, in September, he's going for his acorns or hazelnuts, whatever he's feeding on. So feed is still a priority. So if you can catch these deer early enough like this, they're on their same pattern. You hear this time and time again from several videos or read about it. Catch them in their same summer pattern. You might have a chance at some of these guys. Because once they kick it into something else, who knows? But I'm venturing to believe these guys, they find their area. That's their home. They will, if they're not disrupted by anything, whether it be wolves or any other predators, that's their home forever. And that's what you can rely on. If he gets it, he gets killed or something happens, somebody else will fill his void. That's the way it is. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little something different. You know, as we wind down in August, this should be all set. The games are pretty well done. You might check one more time if you have cameras. But just watch how much you push these areas and how much scent you leave, because it is important. I don't really care to be in this area too much. I want to get out of here because he's close, and I don't want him to pick up my scent too much. So thanks a lot, guys. I hope you appreciate this, and take care.